For example, this is a simple login demonstration. So this is our user. Our user wants to log in. Let's call her, I don't know, Amanda. So Amanda is really ready to log into the application. She's ready. So she clicks on that login button, just like I've done, right? So what happens is the UI will dispatch an event, right? So the UI will take in that click that she's done. Tiny Anne's going to click on that login button. She clicks on that, boom. It takes that interaction that she's done and it sends the signal to the business logic, the block basically. So it sends it to the block, still inside a representation layer, right? And the block will, which remember that the block depends on the use cases, right? So the block, which depends on the use cases, will handle or call the use case function, the related use case to that functionality. So Amanda has clicked on login. In the block, we will have a function or a method that handles login functionality. And similarly, we will have a use case that handles the login functionality, right? So the block, right, will go into its function that handles the login functionality. In there, it will call the use case that handles the login functionality and pass in the required information to that use case, and then let the use case carry out its work. The use case in this case, which is also carrying out its own sort of business logic, will take that request and send it over, hand it over to the next layer. So now we're exiting our layer, right? We're exiting the domain layer and the presentation layer, and we're moving into the data layer, basically. So depending on the contract of the repository that we've defined in the domain layer, the use case, the related use case, in this case, the login use case, will simply take whatever data, hand it over to the data layer. Now we're moving out from the domain layer and now we're in the data layer, right? It hands it over to the repository in the data layer. The repository will simply take it and make a call to the data source and say, hey, data source, right? They're trying to log in and they've given me these bits of information, right? And this is the contracts that they define on how to talk to us, and they've done it correctly. So now let's move on from me, and hand it over to you. Hand it over to the data source. Data source plugged into the server, right? Look at our little data source sat on the server, plugging into the cloud, or wherever we need. It can plug into your local files or whatever we need, right? It will fetch that data from them, and then it will bring it back. So now we're done. The server, the data source has spoken to the server, right? And the server has said, Rav, I don't have your data, right? You're on your own. I don't know what you're talking about. So this is the response. It can be a successful response. It could be a bad response. It doesn't matter. The server responds either way. Or it could be silence because you don't have data. You've run out of Wi-Fi. I don't know what reason. But you can continue since we've received it. So the data source would take that data and start passing it back down to the layer. So you can see we have the repository. It's passed it down to repository, right? The repository was also the last bit before we got to the data source. The repository passes it back to the use cases and so forth. So we'll get the information back to the user. So we hand it over to the use cases. Use cases hands it over to the block. And the block will simply take it and give it to the user. 504, 505 server error. Horror. ChatGPT is no longer working. What are we going to tell our boss? We're going to call in sick because ChatGPT can't help us write our code anymore because there's a 505 error, and this is how the clean architecture will work along the line. So, yeah, that's it. And we come back and do the same thing for every other functionality, right? So that's it. That's it, lads. Now let's go into building out the actual application. Boom.